how the Cabal decided to silence Osinbajo. Professor Yemi Osinbajo hasn't been heard from in a while. Where is he? What is he doing? What is even going on? Is everything okay with him? During the first term of President Buhari, his vice Osinbajo was very popular and active. His office controlled everything from M-Power to trader money, and he even was handed over power by his boss couple of times that Buhari traveled abroad for medical treatment due to poor health. So where is the Osinbajo of first term? It is alleged that there are some cabals in the presidency. This powerful cabals, it is said, is the reason Professor Yemi Osinbajo has been stripped of the many influence and powers he enjoyed during the first term. Osinbajo's had angered the cabal by removing the former DSS chief Lawal Daura on August 7th, 2018 after Daura refused to inform the Professor Osinbajo, who was the then acting president of the country, before asking DSS to invade the National Assembly complex. Until this sacking of Daura, the cabal had allegedly only viewed Osinbajo as a nobody who is no threat to them at all. The sacking of Daura, it is being said, marked a new point where they started viewing Osinbajo as a no-nonsense man capable of destroying them if his wing is not promptly clipped. Therefore, the cabal allegedly started scheming ways to completely destroy the vice president. The first attempt was to link him to corruption, and so they started looking for everything. Unfortunately, Osinbajo had no skeleton in his cupboard. Finding no tangible allegations to nail him, they resorted to cheap blackmail to force him out. The cabal allegedly succeeded in convincing the president to stop handing over power to his vice whenever he was out of the country, as he was the practice before. When this did nothing to anger the vice president to resign, the cabal allegedly decided to up the game. It was the 2019 election and the fear of losing the Southwest bloc votes that made them temporarily suspend the plan because it could affect the chances of the president. As soon as the election was over, the scheme continued. Empower and trader money was moved to a new ministry, and many of Osinbajo's aides were sacked. In fact, many others were simply asked to return to the new ministry. When they got there, however, they found they were not even needed. Osinbajo got the message. He has since kept quiet, having very few roles to play in government. It is not 8 months. It is not 8 months into the new term, and already we are no longer hearing from Osinbajo. It is now 8 months. We are not hearing from him. As the cabal succeeded in silencing him, only time will tell. For now, the number two man seemed like an extra tire that no car owner remember unless there is a problem with the functioning tires. Wow, this is really deep. Honestly, everybody has been asking the same question even before this writer came about this. The article is from a family. So everybody has been asking the same question, that what has been happening. Of course, everybody knows quite all right where they have already placed him. Asking the question, and is this how they have succeeded in silencing him? Exactly, that is what it seems. That is what it seems. You know, a lot of people felt this man impact when the president handed over to him. During the time he was traveling for his medical trip and all of that. So the man, just like maybe two or three occasions, everybody was able to feel his impact. And like they always say, oh, there's no smoke without fire. Something has been brewing since then. But until it came out, some people have been saying a lot of things about it, but yeah, no, people are just trying to make up things. It's not so, given the fact that the president's wife has always been coming out to say things just the way they are. Everybody was really surprised that she was that bold. But the unfortunate thing there is that Nigerians are not even taking that woman serious. They don't even know the gravity of what she has been saying, but they just try to wave it off. People are not really getting it, but maybe the presidency trying to paint it and making sure that people don't really get to the reason why the woman has been coming out. People are not really looking deeper into most of the messages she has been passing to the public. So from there, people already knew that if the woman could be facing all of this and she couldn't button all of those things, then she couldn't bottle all of those things, then the vice president must be going through a whole lot. But when it became so glaring and became so clear, that was when they removed, remove all those offices from him. This a trader money, empower, and change it to this other side. And when it became so glaring, the president came when his aides were sacked. The president came and said, "No, I didn't sack them," but the spokesperson gave a different reason that they were just trying to cut costs. That was why they sacked his aides. And in the same time, another aides were given to the president's wife. So if you are trying to cause and you made us to believe that this woman is not a government official, so why would they be assigning aides to her, and at the end of the day sacking the aides of the vice president? But the vice president, of course, he wouldn't want a lot of things to be heard from him. He said, "Oh, I'm going to be loyal to the president, irrespective of what." He came out the other time, start singing the praises of the president. Oh, the president is so tolerant, when it comes to religion and all of that, because even allowed a church or chapel to be at the back of his kitchen, at the back of his house, and all of that, trying to paint some things. People are just like, all of these things are not really adding up. Of course, we quite understand that it is not in your position to start saying what you've been experiencing. But the only time the vice president made, a categorical statement was when he told one of the pastors, Pastor Okay, Pastor Okay or whatever that is in Ibadan. And those one came out and said the vice president told them that all of these allegations here and there, are the handiwork of the Cabals. We now say, oh, tall. So that means there is cabal. For this man to say there is cabal, being a man, so he wouldn't want to say much. Of course, I'm not saying maybe women talk this thing, but like Aisha, she will say anything you want to do, do it. But they don't know that the woman has been exposing the government, exposing her husband, exposing the presidency. But Nigerians never even believe. It's like there's this thing. Everybody just trying to be. I think the only thing is that people are just trying to be politically correct. Politically correct. That is what people are playing. They are playing, to the gallery. Oh no, we get to get a fast. We can't just conclude. You don't just make a valid conclusion, or just a categorical conclusion that okay, because somebody said this, they automatically it is. And I'm sure again they are trying to not to let people to start thinking most of the things Nnamdi Kanu has been saying. So they just try to water the whole thing down. But everybody knows what he's playing at. But in the public, you just have to be politically correct. Oh, that is when they will be quoting some law for you. They will be quoting some constitution. You don't have to talk like that. You don't have to say things like this. You don't have to see. The next thing they will say, oh, some people are just talking like, people who are in the beer parlor. Just, when you're in the beer parlor, you are at liberty to say anything. But if you are coming out, to make a statement or a categorical statement officially, you need to choose your words. So they are trying to downplay all of those things. But at the end of the day, no matter how you try to cover it kind of cover smoke, you can't cover smoke. It will find its way out. So those are the things we have been seeing, from the presidency and the vice president, the cabal and all of that. One of the cabals, he said, "Oh yes, I'm proud to be a cabal." This Isa Funtua or something. But the president's spokesperson Gabashew, and he came out to confirm, yes, there's nothing wrong, in having cabals. It's not a big deal. Every government, always have cabals and all of that. And he said, oh, Nigerians should not disrespect the cabals. They are not hungry people. Are they really official people? Everybody everybody in his own corner, in our own corner, they know how they respect themselves. But when they are trying to bring cabal to make it official, I think that's what the trend they are going, because now they cannot just even deny the cabals, because the cabal are all over the place. They are, you could see that the president, according to the president's wife, that the husband, the presidency has been hijacked by some cabals, that those who did not even work for them when they were coming in 2015, because she knew quite already people that really works with them for them to attain that position. But all of a sudden, she couldn't see them, and that was why she came out, and she has been carrying about this cabal thing. And not until when they begin to strip Oshibajo off all his, the ministry he's been heading, here and there. And yet the man say, no, I'm going to be loyal to this man, no, to the president. But for some time now, we've not been hearing from him. I think that's what is, bringing this article into limelight. Everybody was like, where has this man gone to with all the things that have been happening in this country? He just kept mute. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think that the Cabals have really silenced him, or do you think he's just trying to pipe low just to be on his own, or he doesn't have anything much to do, since most of the things he's been handling before now that made him to be popular, they've taken all of those things, or they've shifted all of those things to another ministry. Then one could just say, meaning that these people really have plan. Why is it that they are not using the man as before, the way he was being projected in the first tenure? Could it be because of the you know it was a threat, or it was a threat to them, or it's a threat to them? That's why they say, okay, no, this guy here, if we continue using this man, or they just believe that, okay, by the time they come into their second term, that is when they will just totally ignore him. Because from what we are looking at, it's like, they really put him aside, that we don't need your service again. So, guys, leave your comments below. Let's hear your own take concerning what is happening to Osinbajo. We've not been hearing from him. Thank you.